Welcome to Infidelity Truths. Before we dive into today's gripping story, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more thrilling stories just for you. Let's begin.
I was halfway through folding a pile of laundry, the hum of a familiar song on my lips when I saw it, the edge of an envelope peeking out from under the couch cushion. It was such a small thing, barely noticeable, like a forgotten grocery list or a misplaced birthday card. I almost ignored it, but curiosity tugged at me. I reached down, my fingers brushing the worn fabric of the couch, and pulled it out. My name, Lila, was scrawled across the front in Nathan's unmistakable handwriting. Precise, deliberate, like he'd pressed the pen into the paper with purpose. My stomach twisted, a knot of unease forming before I even broke the seal. Nathan and I had been married for 6 years, together for 8. We weren't the kind of couple you'd see in rom-coms, but we were solid. Least I thought we were. We'd weathered the storms of life. Job losses, family dramas, the endless grind of routine. Always coming out stronger. That morning, he'd kissed me on the forehead as he left for work, his lips lingering a second longer than usual. I'd smiled, told him to have a good day, and watched him walk out the door with his coffee thermos in hand. Nothing was off. Nothing was different. Or so I thought. The envelope felt heavier than it should have as I tore it open. Inside were 3 pages folded neatly, each line of Nathan's handwriting a dagger I didn't see coming. I stood frozen in the living room, the laundry forgotten, as my eyes scanned the first sentence. I wanted to say this face to face, Lila, but I knew I wouldn't be able to stay calm. Worse, I wouldn't be able to walk away. My knees buckled and I sank onto the couch, clutching the pages as if they might vanish if I let go. I found out 3 months ago, the letter continued. At first, I thought I was imagining things. I didn't want to believe it. You and Ben, my best friend since college, the guy who stood at my side when we got married. I told myself I was paranoid, that I was reading too much into the late nights, the way you'd laugh at your phone, and then lock it when I walked into the room. But then I saw the messages. My breath caught. Ben. The name alone sent a shiver of guilt down my spine. I hadn't spoken to him in weeks, not since I'd cut things off. But Nathan had known. He'd known all along. The letter went on, each word a carefully placed blow. I checked the iPad, the one that syncs your phone. I wasn't proud of it, but I had to know. The texts, the pictures, the way you talked about me, like I was some burden you were carrying, some fool who didn't see what was right in front of him. I felt sick, Lila. Sick to my core. That I pressed a hand to my mouth, stifling a sob. The affair had started 6 months ago, a reckless, impulsive mistake. Nathan had been away at a work conference, and Ben had come over to help me fix a leaking faucet. We'd had drinks, too many, and the conversation had turned nostalgic. Old college stories, shared memories, laughter that felt like a release. One moment we were laughing, and the next, we were too close, crossing a line I never thought I'd cross. I told myself it was a one-time thing, a lapse in judgment. I told Ben it could never happen again. But it did, 5 more times over 3 months. Each encounter a mix of guilt and exhilaration, until I couldn't stand the weight of it anymore. I ended it, ghosted Ben, avoided him at every turn. I thought I could bury it, that I could fix our marriage from the inside out, that Nathan would never know. But he had. He'd watched me lie day after day with a patience that now felt like a trap. I kept waiting for you to tell me, he wrote. I asked you, didn't I? Those nights at dinner when I'd look at you and say, is everything okay? Or, is there something you want to talk about? I gave you every chance to come clean. You smiled, Lila. You lied to my face. And every lie made it harder to state. I don't know how long I sat there, reading and rereading the letter, each pass burning the words deeper into my mind. The house was silent, the kind of silence that feels alive, pressing against your skin. I noticed the details then, small devastating absences. Nathan's toothbrush was gone from the bathroom sink. His favorite watch, the one I'd bought him for our 5th anniversary, wasn't on the nightstand. I opened his closet, my heart pounding, and found half of it empty, hangers swaying like skeletons. He hadn't just written the letter to explain. He'd written it to say goodbye. The final paragraph hit me the hardest. I thought about confronting you, screaming, throwing your things out, ruining Ben's face with my fist. But what I wanted most was for you to tell me the truth. I wanted you to choose me, to fight for us. You didn't. You chose silence and I can't live with that. I loved you more than anyone else ever will, Lila. That's what hurts the most. No signature. Just those words, raw and final. The hours that followed were a blur of desperation. I called Nathan's phone, my hands shaking as it went straight to voicemail. I texted him, a string of apologies, please, explanations. None of them answered. I drove to his office, my vision blurred with tears, only to be met by his assistant's polite but firm response. Nathan's taken emergency leave. He won't be available for the foreseeable future. I called Ben, my voice raw with anger and panic. Did you tell him? I demanded. Tell him. Ben's voice was thick with shock. You think I wanted this to blow up in my face? I didn't say a word, Lila. He must have figured it out himself. I hung up, my mind spinning. Nathan hadn't needed Ben's confession. He'd pieced it together. My late nights, the perfume on clothes I hadn't worn to work, the locked phone, the iPad messages I'd forgotten to delete. He'd watched me play the part of a loving wife, all while knowing I'd betrayed him. And instead of confronting me, he'd chosen to disappear, leaving only the letter as his final word. The days that followed were a haze of grief and self-loathing. I wandered the house, seeing Nathan in every corner. The kitchen where we'd danced to old jazz records. The backyard where we'd planted a garden we never had time to tend. His absence was a living thing. A ghost that followed me from room to room. His family, tight-knit and fiercely loyal, stopped returning my calls. Our mutual friends, the ones we'd spent countless weekends with, chose sides. Most of them his. I couldn't blame them. I'd made my choice too. I sold the house 3 months later. It was too big, too quiet, too full of memories that cut like glass. The new apartment I moved into was smaller, sterile. A place to exist rather than live. I didn't decorate. I didn't invite anyone over. I spent my evenings staring at the letter, which I kept folded in a drawer, unable to throw it away but unable to stop reading it either. Each time I hoped I'd find something new. A hint of forgiveness, a crack in the wall he'd built between us. There was nothing. That I saw Ben once, by accident, at a coffee shop 6 months after Nathan left. He looked older, his easy charm replaced by something haggard. Lila, he said, his voice hesitant. I'm sorry. For everything. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. He was a reminder of my worst self. A mirror I didn't want to look into. Sometimes, late at night, I'd sit by the window of my apartment, staring at the street below, half expecting to see Nathan's car pull up, to hear his key in the lock. I'd imagine him walking in, his face soft with forgiveness, saying it was all a test, that he'd wanted to see if I'd fight for him. But the street stayed empty, and the door stayed locked. I think about the letter every day. I think about the chances he gave me, the gentle questions I brushed off, the lies I told with a smile. I think about the love he poured into me, the kind I'll never find again. And the way I threw it away for something fleeting, something that meant nothing in the end. Nathan's revenge wasn't in leaving. It was in letting me live with my choices, in letting me carry the weight of my silence. It's been 8 months now. I've started therapy, trying to untangle the mess of guilt and regret that lives in my chest. I've started writing letters of my own, apologies I'll never send, words I should have said when he was still here. I don't know where he is, what he's doing, if he's found someone new. Part of me hopes he has, that he's happy, that he's free of the pain I caused. Another part, the selfish part, hopes he thinks of me sometimes, that he misses what we had. The truth is, I'll never know. I chose silence when he begged for honesty.
I chose comfort over courage.
And now I live with the echo of that choice, one quiet, empty day at a time.
Thank you, my amazing subscribers. Wow, what a journey. If you've made it to the end of this story, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Your support means everything to me. Every time you watch, like, and comment, you're helping keep this channel alive and growing. And trust me, the best is yet to come. I see all your comments. I feel your love, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your thoughts and feedback inspire me to create even more powerful stories. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. More shocking twists, emotional journeys, and real-life lessons are on the way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Together, we're building an incredible community, and I'm so grateful to have you on this journey with me. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, sometimes life's greatest lessons come from the most unexpected moments. See you in the next story.